Stacey and I have been co-chairing the JTE program since we created it nearly 3 years ago. We are really excited to be up here tonight to share a little bit about the program and recognize our first 3 seniors to move to the program. The Federation is deeply committed to providing educational opportunities for the entire community of programs that are universally accessible to all Jews of every flavor, that deeply observant to the secular, from the knowledgeable to the novice, and from the young to the experienced. And for the past 3 years, Stacey and I have been focused on sharing this commitment with the teens of our community through a unique program designed for maximum engagement and participation. JTE was founded on the basic premise that if we want to engage teens in Jewish conversations, we need to do it on their terms. We have built a strong teen-led program that is moving to its 3rd year with a committed board of teenagers. This year, JTE added the March of the Living program into its curriculum. A group of 6 teens started meeting in September to learn what it means to be a leader in the Jewish community, general leadership skills and tactics, the history of the state of Israel, and about the Holocaust. Together with Steve Fleischman and me, they traveled on a transformative journey to Poland and then to Israel. Here to share a little bit about the trip are Samantha Fleischman and Maya Barbieri.
Hi, my name is Samantha Fleischman, and I'm Maya Barbieri, and I was the vice president of JTE this past year, and Sammy was our amazing president. And this past April, we were fortunate enough to go on the March of the Living trip with a gracious amount of help from the Federation. So we just wanted to share a little bit about our experience with you all. So this first picture was taken the first day. We were in Poland at a museum, kind of remembering Holocaust and explaining kind of why we were in Poland and starting our trip off with that idea. The next day, we visited the village Tikochin, which is kind of similar. Their story was similar to the Fiddler on the Roof, if you guys all know that. And it was a village with a vibrant Jewish community and a beautiful synagogue that remains intact today. And then one day, the villagers were all taken from their homes and marched to their deaths, which was extremely heavy and heartbreaking. And it was the first kind of time we really saw what happened. And we did visit a memorial after this day, but it was an extremely sad day for us.
So this is actually when the villagers, they marched a few miles from their town to this forest, featured in this picture, and were killed and buried in mass graves there. And that was kind of our first experience with what had happened, and our first like seeing what had occurred there. And
I think at least for me, one of the most impactful days on the trip was when we visited Majdanek, which is the memorial sculpture is pictured here, but Majdanek is almost completely fully intact. And we walked through the camp kind of in the same process that a concentration camper would go through, seeing the barracks, seeing the crematorium, seeing everything still fully intact. And this day was extremely heartbreaking, extremely heavy. And at the end of the camp, after you go through it all, you see the Dome of Ashes, which is still almost full. People say it's a lot less than it has been, but our chief leader brought us bags of soil from Israel, and in honor to give those who perished a proper burial, we poured the soil from Israel onto the pile of ashes to give them the ceremony and the memory that they deserve.
The next day was actually the March of the Living in Auschwitz and Birkenau, and so this is the gate, and that was a really powerful moment, seeing so many Jewish teens and adults gathered together, kind of showing like we're still here, we still exist, and preserving the memory and really honoring the day. And this is the train tracks. We were all given little signs to write notes on, honoring those who perished and kind of preserving the memory.
This was at my bar mitzvah. I was fortunate enough to have the honor to get bar mitzvah when we visited Israel, since I had not done it when I turned 13, but we had a small ceremony outside one of our hostels one morning, and it was a fun time. I got lifted in the chair and all that fun stuff. So Israel was definitely a transition from kind of the heavy and heartbreaking aspect of Poland to a lot of celebrating and being happy and embracing our Jewish heritage.
So kind of going back to what we learned about in Poland, this was at the Holocaust Museum in Israel. And what's interesting about this wall is we learned a lot about the Jews from Greece, which is a group that I personally have never learned about, and it was interesting to hear their story and hear a different side of the Holocaust.
This was us after a fun little Segway trip on the Tel Aviv beach where we got to kind of see all the views. And it was definitely a very fun day. Israel was definitely a transition, like I said before.
And then we had the opportunity to meet with the high school and be with them on Israeli Independence Day and kind of see how they celebrate and remember the day.
So this was definitely one of the highlights of our trip. On Israeli Independence Day, we all met in Soccer Square, I believe, and there was a huge festival going on. Everyone was singing and dancing, and then we began to walk from there to the Kotel, and everyone was cheering. It was extremely united, and it was definitely an extremely memorable experience.
And this is a continuation of that day. Just once we all got down to the Kotel, just seeing everyone there was such an amazing experience.
One of our more fun parts of the trip was we did get to go camel riding, and they gave us official camel riding licenses. So Sammy and I are both now official camel riders.
This is right in front of the Kotel, and it's our entire group, and it's showing it's Jewish teams from all around the world, from New England and Costa Rica and Colombia, and just kind of showing how united we were as a group. Just within the 72 of us.
This is just
our group. Our group from New Haven. It was small, but it was so nice. We got so close, and we really got to experience this together. It was an amazing experience for all of us.
Yeah. So just in general, the March of the Living was an extremely life-changing experience. Poland was definitely heavy and heartbreaking and all sorts of emotions, but Israel was extremely incredible, and I hope to go back soon. And we're just so fortunate that we had the opportunity, because sending a delegation to the March of the Living was one of our goals we had when we started thinking about JTE as just even a concept before it was a real program, and I'm just so lucky and fortunate to have seen it play out. Yes. Thank you.
While we have you up here, you're going to embarrass me for just a minute before we let you sit back down. Samantha and Maya and Jordan Kahn, who can't be here tonight, are our first official graduates, moving on to college next year from the JTE program. Sammy, you have been with us from the very beginning. When we reached out to Rabbi Shapiro for recommendations, you were first on the list, and you've been a foundation of the program ever since. You helped create the program from scratch. In our planning year, served as the first president of the board for 2 years, and have stood as an example to your peers of what a Jewish leader can look like. And you'll be missed. Maya, you have also been with us from the beginning. Your first official role early on was as BBYO liaison, assigned by the BBYO director for some crazy new project the adults wanted to put together. You brought a different voice to our program, and you have a very strong Jewish identity. You helped create programming that you would enjoy, and also stood as an example to others, showing that every Jew is welcome. For the past year, you served as vice president of the board, working closely with Samantha to lead the program. And to cap off the experience, you were called to the Torah for the first time, as we saw as a bat mitzvah in Jerusalem this spring, while on the March of the Living. On behalf of Evan and I, we have a small thank you gift, handmade in Israel, of course, as recognition for your service.
Jordan could not be here with us tonight, but I'm sure he's going to see the video, so I'm going to speak to him like he is. Jordan, your path to us was slightly different. You came this past year for the first time, balancing college applications, football and hockey practice, and games, and the challenges of your senior year. You made the time to be with us every Tuesday night for most of the year. You sometimes came straight off the field or off the ice, but you still came and participated. Your dedication to the March of the Living preparation was admirable, and on the trip you stood tall as a visible example for the other 70 teams on the group. always participating, behaving appropriately, respectfully in every situation. From the reflections you shared with us that we observed on the trip, Steve and I are proud to have you as a member of our group, know that this experience permanently impacted your Jewish identity. Thank you.